Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Girlfriend Experience podcast. I'm your host, and I am so excited to bring you this episode this week. Usually, I film the intro before the episode, but I have to tell you guys, this episode put me in such a good mood. Our energy was so good. And this was my first time ever talking to Isla. Today, the guest is Isla Cox, and she is a very accomplished performer. You may have seen many of her videos on different websites, and she was just such a joy to talk to. She is so intelligent, so talented, so funny and nice. And am I simping right now? No, I'm just kidding. But am I kidding? It was just a really good interview. I loved our energy together, and I really hope to have her on again soon. You guys are going to absolutely love this interview. It was very insightful and honestly, maybe my naughtiest one yet. So I hope that everyone is having a great day. I'm currently in the process of redoing my cam room, which is why the room looks like this. So I'm really hoping that in the next few weeks, my podcast setup is back to normal. I get to go back into the studio. We'll see. And yeah, thank you guys for rocking with me. I'm super thankful for the support that I've been getting on this podcast. So I hope that you're all having a great new year. I'll just shut up and bring you this great episode. So here you go. Hi, Isla. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm so excited to have Isla Cox on the show today. I feel very blessed because I've seen you on social media for so long, and I've always thought that you're so pretty, and so I'm so happy that today I get to learn more about you and connect with you. You're so pretty too. I can't handle it. If you could just introduce yourself, what do you do? Who is Isla? What do you enjoy doing in the industry, or just anything about you?
Oh, man. Okay, so I've been in the industry now for 2 years. I'm mostly known for my amateur content. I joined ManyVids first, and I jumped on live there with no plans. But I loved it. I really liked the community. I really liked the site of posting clips and things like that, because I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to do it, if I actually wanted to make porn or not.
You're dipping your toes in.
Exactly. So I dipped my toes in, obviously by being live, thousands of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I realized I absolutely loved it. So then I branched out to other different sites, and then I started my own podcast as well. I built my website. It's called Isla Cox with 3x's.com. But it's mainly just a community for me to give men tips on how to flirt with women, pick up girls,
I love that.
Because they need a wholesome guy.
Yeah. That's so great. So what year did you start?
I started on Christmas in 2019. So
okay, so
before,
fairly recent.
Yeah, so right
you
before
started,
the pandemic and everything started.
Yeah, I was going to say you started right before the pandemic, so you kind of were adjusting to everything as the pandemic was going on. How was that? Was that kind of strange? Because I feel like the industry has changed so much since COVID. I can't imagine starting during COVID. I don't know. It just feels so crazy. But I've seen so many girls get decent success during COVID because they had so much more time to invest in their career and stuff.
Definitely. So I honestly didn't even think about it. I'm a mom, so I have to figure out how
sex worker moms.
Yes. But I had to figure out how to balance being a mother versus with being a sex worker as well. So I feel like COVID kind of gave me the opportunity to figure things out. So I was able to be hey, I can be this person over here, and then I can also be Isla. Feel like I don't know. I feel like I kind of liked joining during the pandemic because I didn't know anything different. I just know that the audience was there, that they were already going to be on their computers because they're at home. They're trying to escape from whatever it is that's going on in their own life. So I just thought it'd be the perfect time.
It kind of was though. I've never seen growth like that before. On even regular social media TikTok, but my OnlyFans, I had it since 2017. It never grew like it did in 2020, and honestly in 2021 it didn't grow that much since. It really my OnlyFans specifically peaked in 2020. It was insane because you're saying, everyone's eyes are on their computers, they're on their screens, they're there, and so it felt like anything that you post, you have an audience because someone's gonna be online. We were all trapped inside. So yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Exactly. So it was like because everything everyone was there and that they were going to be receptive to obviously, they're already scrolling on porn sites. I was like,
Yeah.
might as well put my face up there too and we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. And when I realized that people really liked it, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So we're doing this.
Exactly.
That's so funny. I saw in your bio, it says, if I'm wrong, correct me, but it said something like 15 million views. Is that on Pornhub?
Yeah, so I actually have, well, it's not on Pornhub. I want to say I have 2.8 million views on Pornhub, but I have 16, I want to say 16.5 million views on X videos.
Oh, shit. That's
yeah.
crazy. That is so crazy. Do you get paid for the views? Like, I know on Pornhub you get paid. Do you get paid on X videos as well?
Yes, you do, actually.
Ooh, okay.
And they also just launched something new where it's kind of like OnlyFans because OnlyFans tried to kick sex workers off.
Yeah.
X videos was a site where you could link to outside, like, platforms in your videos. So it can pop up, but, like, amongst your video, kind of like an ad on Pornhub, except it's yours, like, your own. So that, like, drives traffic to, like, my other sites. But since the thing that happened with OnlyFans, they said you can't link to OnlyFans anymore, and they now
Wait,
have
why
a
is
section.
that? Do you think it's because they just don't
they
want
actually
it?
had a blog post, and they said that because OnlyFans does not support sex workers, they will not support them, and that you can't link to them
X
anymore.
videos said that?
Yes, I know. It was in the
That's
blog
crazy.
post.
No, that's crazy because, like, I mean, a lot of sex workers, they don't like tube sites. I know a lot that post on them, like, I'll post on Pornhub sometimes and stuff, and I've heard that it really helps careers, but then there's also this whole aspect of the industry that's like, fuck tube sites, And so that's so crazy how they kind of, like, had our back, and they're like, fuck this, like...
Yeah, so they were like, they don't support OnlyFans, so they created their own thing where I guess you can have a fan club and you can post on there like you would OnlyFans. I haven't tried it yet,
cool.
But it's something
You should
I'm
do it. You
definitely gonna
obviously
look
have
into.
the audience. Like, that's an insane amount of views. Do you have, like, a specific type of video that people on there, like, really like from you?
As the videos that they love the most, I just film with my husband, so we just make boy-girl videos, and it always
Oh,
makes me
that's
cry
cute.
because that's my favorite.
Yeah, same.
So that's like it. That's kind of the only consistent theme, and then we just kind of get to play with it. I love how supportive my fan base is because they really just kind of let me do whatever I want, and there's like, yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that because, like, you're really, I've wanted to talk to someone so bad that started during the pandemic, and, like, you're really an example of someone that was like, hey, I'm gonna try this, and, like, maybe there will be a market for me, and then you find out, like, millions and millions and millions of people enjoy how you look. They love your content. Like, that's amazing. That's so
it
cool.
felt really good. It felt really good because I was not expecting that kind of response. They said, so when you post on X videos, you can't monetize your videos right away. It's different from, like,
Oh, it's kind of
Pornhub.
like YouTube, how you have to, like, get a certain amount of views. Okay.
Exactly. So you have to have, I want to say, 5 videos when you first start, and they have to be, like, a certain, like, length. I want to say, like, 5 minutes long, and you're making no money off of this. So I uploaded those videos, and I was like, okay, like, I felt really nervous. Like, I'm shaking just thinking about it. I was like, oh, gosh, like, this is so stressful. Like, what if people just see my stuff for free, and they, like, hate it? like, someone steals videos, like, records it, or, like, whatever. I had, like, a bunch of, like, I don't know, crazy thoughts going through my head. But my channel got monetized right away. Like, as soon as I uploaded all the videos, they monetized
amazing.
immediately. And then the views just started pouring in. And I was like, okay, cool.
That is so cool because, like, I mean, I have met girls who are super successful on Pornhub, but I've never talked to someone that, like, specifically is X videos, which is crazy because X videos, like, is globally one of the most visited websites annually. Like, I'm pretty sure it has to be, like, I can't remember exactly, but I know, like, the porn sites crush the top 10, 20 most visited sites in the world. So yeah, that's really cool that you're, like, utilizing that platform because I feel like it's less common for people to do that. Like, I've done my searching on that site before, and, like, I feel like most of the performers that are on there, it's not really, like, performers, it's more of, like, studios, I guess, or, like, you've seen, like, the verified, like, accounts.
I was gonna say, I feel like that they like the fact that it's, like, an actual person uploading versus studios, because I noticed that as well. Because when I would do my own, like, personal browsing before I joined the industry, I was mainly on Pornhub, so I didn't really know that people used X videos. But I had Hurricane Fury reach out to me. She messaged me on Twitter, and she was giving me, like, tips on how to make more money, which I like
Oh, that's so
completely
sweet.
did not expect at all. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like, thank you so much. I just did whatever she was saying to me. I was like, okay, yeah, you know what you're talking about. I'm just going to do it. So I
Yeah.
listened to her, and then like my
It worked?
career just happened. Yeah.
That's so awesome. And then you mentioned that you were signing to an agency, right?
Yes,
Did you want to talk about that a little bit? Like, what motivated your choice to want to? And, like, if you want to mention the agency or, like, why you went with them, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to be signing with Cox Models. I already signed.
The
and
last
I
name
just
is
need
fitting.
Yeah. I signed with Cox Models, and what was motivating me to sign with an agency was the fact that I felt like I wasn't really taken seriously to certain people in the industry because they didn't have representation. So despite the fact that I had success, there was lots of people that were not really willing to work with me because it's really easy to film from like your living room or like your bedroom and upload it versus actually being like a reliable person. So I really wanted to show that I do take this seriously, that it's very important to me. This is like my sole source of income now. I absolutely love making porn. And I also wanted to, you know, start filming with other people.
That's so cool. And I really do think that that is like a huge motivator in signing with an agency. It's just the fact of like, hey, this is proof to other performers that like she got signed, like she's reliable, you know, like you're serious about it. Cause yeah, it's true. Like I've had people reach out to me sometimes and I'm like, I don't know them well enough to know like, you know, they have all these views, they're doing all these things, but it's just hard to tell. And so I think that that's like probably a really good move for you. Are you wanting to do like, you're going to do like full on like pro porn? Are you going to do it with guys and girls, or like what's your plan for that? Have you thought about it?
I have. So I was looking into filming. I do think I want to move into like filming professional porn. I think I might switch up a little bit in terms of like custom. So, you know, having like another cameraman like filming versus me like setting up with my tripod and then filming myself.
Yeah.
But I would like to film with guys. Honestly, my dream is to have a gangbang. That sounds so
amazing.
great. I definitely
Every
want
girl's
to film with
dream.
girls as well. Definitely. But I definitely want to film with girls as well because I'm pansexual and I've never actually experimented with girls outside of like, you know, like making out and stuff, which obviously like who's not gonna like that?
Right.
So, way more, and I'd love to like, you know, be in like a safe environment to do it. And I know that you know, porn and studios really support their performers, right? And make sure that, you know, everyone on set is okay with everything that's happening. So I felt like that'd be the perfect place.
Right. I feel like since you've already like been in the industry for like almost 2 years, has it been 2 years? Yeah. I can't do math. I feel like you understand like enough about the industry at this point to where like you're not just naively being like, oh, I'm going to sign to an agency and then I'm going to do all these random shoots. Like I feel like now you'd be able to make sure that like you're in comfortable environments and you're not like, you know, in any compromising situation. So I think that's really good. Like I was talking to Kaya Eve on my last episode that's going to come out before this, and she was kind of talking to me about the same thing. Like she had performed for a while before and then signed with an agency, and I feel like that's really the move. Like I feel like if that's what people want to do, like it's nice to kind of start with your own stuff and then move to that. So that's really cool. You said that you want to do a gangbang. Are there any other like specific like scenes or performers that you've been like, I want to do this so bad?
Oh gosh. So I'm actually like really flexible. So I really wanted to do a scene where I kind of like use that and show like my flexibility to my fans. But yeah, I just want like a gangbang. It's like I want like 12 different guys.
That's amazing.
Lots of people.
I hope someone out there, some director or someone is somehow watching this, gets the word out. Everyone spread the word. Isla wants a gangbang. We have to make it happen. We're manifesting it for you.
Okay.
I also wanted to talk about your podcast because I didn't know that you had a podcast, and I was creeping on you and I was like, oh my God, I need to listen to this. Is it like your own thing? Like you started it by yourself, or is it like collabing with anyone? Because I didn't get to do my deep dive yet.
So yeah, my podcast is actually me alone, just kind of like talking. I share details about like my personal sex life. you know, very explicitly, and telling
everyone's
people
like
about
Googling it right now.
Yes, please Google it.
What is it called?
It's called Orgasmic Journey into Amateur Porn.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I actually talk about the first time I hooked up with my husband, and that was history. Like, I literally met him that day and did not let go after that. Like,
aw, the sex was that good?
That good.
Like, I need this for life, and we're gonna get millions of views.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I just kind of share my personal sex life and kind of give them, you know, some more material to enjoy. And I also give tips on how to help yourself and your partner come. So I have an episode talking about how to squirt, how to figure out how to squirt on your own.
I feel like a lot of people are looking for that advice, and a lot of the times the advice that they get is like very, like, I don't know how to say this in like a better way, but like very like vanilla advice of like, this is how to make a girl come in 3 steps. And it's not really from people that like professionally make people come or make themselves come. And so I feel like we have so much advice to offer because it's like, we're the professionals. You guys should be coming to us.
Exactly.
Are you going to do guests, or you kind of just want to like continue with the path that you're going on?
So I had one episode where I had guests, but I noticed that my fans just didn't respond to it the same. So I was just going to have, I thought maybe starting something else, maybe interviewing or just hanging out with people on like my YouTube channel or something like that, because I felt like maybe the video would make it more engaging and interesting. Because my fans, they're just kind of like, they don't really transfer over to like other models as well, you know.
Yeah, they just want
like,
you. Like they're going every week or however often you post for you to hear your stories. So that definitely makes sense, and that's kind of cool that you like have that little group of supporters, or the big group of supporters, millions. I have to keep saying it. I'll brag for you. Like that's cool that they keep coming for you, and like they want to listen to you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I really appreciate their support. Honestly, sometimes it feels weird when I talk about it, especially to people outside of the industry, because I haven't really, well, recently I told my family and everyone else around me that I
how did that go?
Horrible.
Oh no, you could talk about it if you want to, or we don't have to if it was like really bad, but I know like a lot of people have gone through that where it's a very like hard conversation to have, and it's not always well received.
Definitely. So I have like a really kind of weird relationship with my family anyways. I was raised by my great-grandparents, so they were very old and very religious.
Oh, your great-grandparents?
Yes, my great-grandparents.
Oh, wow.
So they were super, super old. And one of my great-grandma was Catholic, and then she became Christian, so that was kind of like my basis for growing up. So all of their children were raised that way. You know, my mother was raised that way because she was also raised by my great-grandmother. So when I explained, I was like, hey, you know, like, I make porn. I just kind of said it. I was like, by the way, because they're like, how do you have so much money? What are you doing? And I was like, oh, yeah, so we make porn. And they were just kind of like, what do you mean?
Yeah, their minds were probably blown.
Yeah, so they acted accepting at first. And I actually talked about it on, like, the On the Horizon podcast with Melrose.
Oh, yeah, and is Jessie on that podcast too?
Yes, okay.
Love Jessie. I haven't met Melrose, but I love Jessie. I did a video with her. I've been on the podcast. She's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I shared my story on there, and they teamed up together behind my back and just kind of like tried to work together to like make me quit porn. It was crazy. Yeah, so I ended up cutting them off, and I lived my best life. And then I signed to the agency.
You're like, okay, so you guys don't like that? Well, I'm going to go even further. And I mean, I think it's important to do what makes you happy. I would hate for you to not continue something that is like bringing you joy and success and money just because some people that like don't even see you every day have some way to feel about it, you know?
Exactly. And I was like, I felt like maybe if it was more of like, if there's actual concerns, like we could talk about it, because I tried to have an open conversation. But it really was just kind of like they were just slamming, you know, the Bible as their source of reasoning. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry, but I can't have this conversation anymore. Yeah. Like, love you.
I feel like if they truly, truly cared, they, like you said, would be expressing concerns. Because, I mean, I have younger siblings. If one of them came to me and said, like, hey, I'm a stripper, which I've been a stripper, I'd probably be like, okay, well, these are my safety concerns for you, and these are steps that you should take to be safe and things like that. So yeah, I really hate that approach, and I'm sorry that like you went through that because I'm sure that's a really shitty feeling, but I think that you'll be better because of it because a lot of times people they cut themselves out of our lives, you know?
Exactly. And honestly, I was kind of like a final straw with them anyways. I was kind of
Mm-hmm.
sharing just kind of not even really out of respect for them, but just kind of like I didn't want to hide it. I would just want to be myself. I want to be able to like
Yeah.
breathe and feel okay with who I am, like as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because they also made me feel uncomfortable about my own sexuality, which is why I was kind of hesitant
Uh,
about sharing it to begin with. Yeah.
yeah.
So when they did not express support, I was like, okay, great, so that means we're done.
Yeah, you like it sucks because that's something that I'm dealing with too is kind of like weird relationships with families and you just realize like I want this like unconditional love. Like I want this accepting and understanding love and anyone that doesn't provide that for me that's fine. I'll create my own family. I'll get my own friends like I'll have a healthy relationship and I'll keep it moving and you guys can just stay in your ways and because it's really hard to change people that don't have an open mind. So,
Exactly. And it's kind of like a waste of energy to try to change someone, especially because I feel like it kind of backfires typically by trying to have
mhm.
someone change their opinion with like an outside source, kind of like
Yeah.
berating it. And I know I personally didn't change my opinion when they were trying to tell me about my
Right.
sexuality
Right.
opinion. So yeah, I
Yeah,
just from that.
it's a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So, someone asked me to ask you, what inspires you most about your job? Is there like a motivating factor? And I hesitate to ask questions like that to people because my first reaction is like, well, we're doing a job, and so like obviously like making money is what inspires us. But I have found that like a lot of sex workers do have something else that like makes them feel good, whether it's oh, I've got more confident, or oh, I'm able to do these things now. So is there something specifically that has inspired you?
Okay. So honestly, before I all the views, anything, when I first joined ManyVids, I wanted to get in touch with like my sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
I had experienced sexual assault when I was in college, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it completely stripped me of who I was. I was not the same
Mm-hmm.
person. I could not go back to being the same person, and I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of existed up until the point
Yeah.
of me joining the industry. Um, so yeah, I just kind of was experimenting with what do I like now? What do I dislike? Has anything
Mm-hmm.
changed? Do things feel different? Um, so yeah, just getting in touch with my sexuality is like a huge motivator, which is why I want to, experience a gangbang because it's something I've
Right,
always
right.
wanted to do. I've always
I think
dreamed about doing it. And it's just kind of one of those things where I feel like, why am I holding myself back from this?
right.
So I've kind of gone into pleasure and experienced how this like transformed my life. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I want to say that it's kind of like created a ripple effect into other parts of my life of feeling more confident, more happy, and just being unapologetically me. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
will never ever, I want to say, condemn the porn industry because what it's doing on like a personal level, especially to the performers, when it's like positive things, is absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh, that's such a powerful story. Like you took something that is definitely awful to go through and you kind of found a way to like I mean, it's something that's very hard to heal from, but like you found a way to do a certain form of like healing through the industry, finding more about yourself. And I love that you said that it like created a ripple effect and it's extended to different parts of your life because I had the same experience too. And I think that that is absolutely amazing. And I love stories like that because it's out there, guys. Like it is out there. Like people are actually like finding themselves and loving themselves and people they can't comprehend it. They're like there's no fucking way. But like I mean, I feel like I was worse off before I started in this industry and it's done a lot for me and that's not me telling everyone that's watching like, "Hey, if you're not in porn, go do it." But for us, it seems like it really helped us like work through some things that we went through. So I love that. I think that that's amazing and powerful. And I'm like super proud of you. One more question from a fan. Now, every time that I ask people, hey, can you send in questions? They're always like, oh, what size are her tits? And like all these things. So I'm like, okay, let me look through like the actual good ones. Someone said, do you have any advice for people who are not feeling very confident about posting themselves online? So I guess they're basically asking like about those days where you're just like, I'm not feeling myself. Even beautiful people like us feel this way.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be really honest. This is the first day I've gotten out of like bed and gotten my makeup
Same.
on and like
Same. I got pretty for you.
Yes, I got pretty for this. I was thinking about you as I was doing my eyeliner. I was like, all right, we can do this.
Today is the day I'm getting out of bed.
Exactly. So I know most people say fake it till you make it. I don't do that at all. I can't fake it. I'm terrible at it. I just lay in bed and I eat food and I do anything that's going to make me feel better that's not harmful to myself. Mm-hmm. And then I just batch my content for the days that I do feel good.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're so the same. Because I'm the same way. People ask me that all the time. And like, I am someone where I mean, I was like not popular, but I was like an internet person before I did adult work. So like I kept that same energy of like, if I look like shit and I want to post something on my story, I'm gonna post it, or I'm just not gonna post at all. Like I can't pretend. I can't be one of those people that's like, I'm gonna do my makeup and hair because I'm feeling like shit today. No, I'm gonna watch Netflix and I'm gonna order Postmates and I'm gonna probably fucking cry. Like
exactly. I cry a lot.
Yeah, it's so hard. And like yeah, oh my God, everyone that I've ever dated is always like, you cry every day. And I'm like, do I though? I don't know if I do every day, maybe every other day. Give me a break. But do you ever like, whenever you're posting, do you ever have like a little doubt in your mind where you're like, oh, I don't know if I should post this. And then you do it anyway. And then like people are super reaffirming about it.
Yeah, so I want to say every single video that's hit 1 million views, I didn't want to post it. I was like, there's something wrong with this. I don't even know. Like, I realize now that it's just so, like, funny.
Yeah.
No one's looking at the same insecurities that you are. No one's going to notice it unless you bring, like, blatant attention to it.
Right.
No one's going to realize you feel insecure about it. So I just kind of, like, just put it out there, and then, you know, if people are mean in the comments, I, like, don't go to my comment section. I do immediately after posting, but then I just kind of, like, ignore it. I just kind of go about my life, just kind of
pretend like it doesn't exist.
Exactly. And then I come back and I'm like, okay, good.
Right. That's amazing. I always tell myself, like, sometimes when I'm on cam, because you can't edit live streaming, you know? Like, I'm going to have days where I'm like, I hate this specific thing about myself today, and I just tell myself, they're just looking at boobs. They're looking at your boobs. They are looking at your boobs. Or like something so simple, like, oh, I'll shoot a video with a girl and then I'll notice like, oh, I forgot to shave like right here, like this little patch. And I'm like only focusing on that. And then I'm like, people aren't going to look at that. They're going to be looking at my pussy. Like they're not going to be like, I hate this video because of this little patch of hair. But it's hard whenever your job is to kind of like stare at yourself.
Definitely. And that's why, like, so I film, edit, direct, like, all of my videos. So I want to say I kind of, like, have gotten really familiar with what I look like 360.
Yeah.
Don't really know if people should have that form of self-awareness.
No, it's, like, scary.
Yeah, it's definitely something to get used to. But I also have noticed that there are, like, things that I do feel insecure about, and I'll see blatant comments of people just, like, roasting me for it. And, like, they'll just call me out and, like, ew, what is that?
Oh, no. But then some people love you for that specific thing, too. I've noticed that, too.
So I'll just kind of, like, I'll comment back and I'll just joke with them. I just kind of, like, I just laugh at myself. I've learned to just kind of take things as, like, it's not that serious. I mean, if it is that serious, I can always change it, right? Like, just pay for, like, something to change it.
Yeah,
I'm really that insecure about it.
Fix this, yeah.
Exactly. So I just kind of, you know, exist as I am now, and if I don't like it in the future, then we can always just do some tweaking.
Right, and then a lot of people that are leaving the hate comments, like, they're just projecting, and I sound like such a mom that's like, oh, honey, they're mean to you because they're mad at themselves. But it's like, no, that's actually true. Like, that's actually true. These
really is.
men or whoever grow up and they're mad and they just project it onto the people that they're jacking off to. And I will never understand it, but it happens. I wanted to ask also, is there anything that you enjoy doing outside of the industry? Because obviously you have a whole life outside of the industry. Is there anything specific, like any hobbies or...
So if you've seen my Instagram story, you know that I randomly post like food and stuff like that. I'm obsessed with food. Like that's like the only other thing I do is kind of like eat. Just kind of constantly
No, me
eat.
too.
I love sweet stuff, so you'll always find me like just trying to make sweet stuff. I'm not saying I'm a good cook, but definitely not. But it's something that I enjoy. I really enjoy just kind of like feeding other people and making them feel
That's
good.
great.
And yeah, just kind of exploring, experimenting with like new stuff.
Do you have a specific food that's like your absolute favorite?
I want to say it changes, like consistently, probably like quarterly, like 4 times a year. I'll have the exact same food if you ask me at the same time. I want to say typically it's like chai latte, a chai latte from Starbucks, and that's like that's a whole meal.
Oh no, I'm the same way with matcha. Like every morning I have to go get matcha.
Yes, or matcha because matcha is obviously delicious. I'm obsessed with like chili. Chocolate. I'm a huge fan of chocolate.
Oh yeah.
So just kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of like a child. I'm kind of like a little kid, like chicken nuggets.
No, me too. I will eat an Uncrustable, like the little peanut butter and jellies. I'll eat that with some chips for like lunch, and I'm like,
I remember when they first came out.
I'm obsessed with them. That is so funny. Okay, so I feel like I could keep talking to you forever, but I don't want to keep you for too long. So is there anything that you would like to promote or mention? Anything that you want to talk about at all? Throw it all out there. Promote literally anything. Tell people where they can find you.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to say to check out my podcast if you guys want to hear how to make yourself come, how to make your partner come, or you want to hear about my crazy sexual adventures, because I was really adventurous before I joined the industry.
Love that.
Definitely check that out. It's called Orgasmic Journey into Amateur Porn.
I'll link it below too.
You can check me out on TikTok because I love being super silly on there, and I've finally figured out how to do transitions. So watch out.
Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so awful at them. I'm like turning my head the wrong way.
I just go back in and try to edit it.
Right.
You can follow me on Twitter if you want to see me naked, obviously, because I have.
Yeah, the Twitter is the spot, guys.
Yes. Or Instagram if you want to see my, my food creations. Like, I just made turkey for Thanksgiving, and it was covered in brown sugar and butter, and it was, like, toasty and yum. Or you can check out my blog, which is Isla Cox with 3x's.com, and I talk about a bunch of different things. So if you want to improve your dating profile for my matches on Tinder, if you'd like to improve your relationship with yourself, or you want to find out how successful people find their creativity through masturbation, definitely check it out.
That is so awesome. And I'm going to link what I can down below. I tried to avoid linking Twitters just because I don't want to get my YouTube flagged, but I'll link your Instagram and your podcast down below. This was such a great episode. And I want you back again. Like, guys, leave any comments if you're watching on YouTube. Leave comments. Let me know any questions that you have for Isla for next time, because this was such a good interview. I feel like we really vibed, and I love that.
Yes.